I'm like, oh, what the fuck is this shit?
I was looking for this movie in so many damn spots. I couldn't find it, so I had to fucking rent it.
No, you had to buy it.
Yeah.
I know. I apologize. I apologize.
Don't worry. Next month it will be on HBO Max and shit. So that's usually what happens for us.
Welcome to another episode of Season 4 of 3.5 Gentlemen, the podcast, where 3 of the 4 hosts provide a refined and intellectual analysis of movies from our private collections, and one of us tries desperately to keep up. We'll let you decide which host is which, but for now, my name is Sean, and with me, as always, are my co-hosts, Jeremiah.
So what you say, cut me some freaking slack, yo.
Eddie.
FBI, free sucker.
And Brandon.
I'll take pleasure in gutting you, boy. I'll take pleasure in
Gutting you, boy.
So what other movie was that from?
I think it's from The Rock.
It's Escape from Alcatraz with Clint Eastwood. They said in that
Clint
movie.
Eastwood. Okay, all right.
Oh,
Look at you with your IMDb facts, Ed.
Okay, I'm done for the day, guys. With Season 4, we're picking movies that we think would be fun to talk about. Some of these will be from our private collections, while others will be new releases in theaters.
as with every review we give, our goal is to answer one simple question: how many drinks does it take to get through the film that we just watched? At the end of the podcast, we'll rate the movie based on a scale of 0 to 5. 0 being a perfect film that you can watch stone cold sober, and 5 being sort of the film that makes you feel like you swallowed some VX gas, so your skin is melting off while you're spazzing so hard that you're about to break your back, just like pooping fire.
All right. With that, what do we have crawling through the tunnels under the bowels of Alcatraz furnaces tonight, gentlemen?
I love how you guys are just adding different words to the script. Just love it.
Dude, we're Nicolas Cage. We're improvising our fucking script, dude.
Should I read this like a Nicolas Cage? I mean,
And my jaw hurts like hell.
tonight.
Fucking
you.
Cage.
Oh, shit. Tonight we have the 1996 Jerry Bruckheimer produced, Michael Bay directed, action-packed blockbuster, The Rock. This movie follows an FBI biochemist named Stanley Goodspeed, who's tasked with infiltrating Alcatraz Island, also known as The Rock, to stop a renegade Marine general who is keeping 81 prisoners hostage and threatening to release VX poison gas on San Francisco.
I believe he's a brigadier general.
I'm sorry, brigadier general. You know what? IMDb just had him listed as general, but whatever. Goodspeed is accompanied by John Mason, the only person to ever break out of The Rock. With action and violence galore, they must save the day and city before time runs out and the rockets are deployed. The Rock has an insane cast that includes Sir Sean Connery, Ed Harris, David Morse, Michael Biehn, and John C. McGinley, not to mention the greatest living American actor, according to Eddie, Nicholas Coppola, also known as Eddie, who?
A fucking water pistol? What the fuck do you have? A water pistol?
Nicolas Cage. Anyway, the movie has earned an IMDb rating of 7.4 out of 10, has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 67% with the critics, and an audience score of 85%. And Sean, I do believe that this is our first.
This just once again,
Rotten Tomatoes.
Once again shows you that the critics are full of shit. This movie, okay. Is it The Godfather? No. Is it the greatest movie?
But a Coppola is involved.
But for God's sakes, is it not the most fun fucking 2 hours to spend just watching things blow up? And I'm sorry,
it's brainless, and you just walk away from any type of logical shit, and you just watching it.
I get to see a critic oh my goodness, I give this a 67%. The VX rocket gas is it's unacceptable. Those winds could change. Is it?
Oh my God, you thought that too?
Well, it's the most played movie of all time on TBS and TNT and USA.
Wait, Brandon, you forgot about Don Simpson. What the fuck? This is his last produced shit.
Listen, there are so many fucking amazing.
There's also the other guy who is John Spencer, who was Walmack.
Oh yeah,
he was fantastic. He was on fucking the Oval Office show.
Oh, you know, Philip Baker Hall is one of my favorites. I swear to God. But no, Sean, this is I think our first Nicolas Cage, and it's our second Michael Bay outside of Armageddon. Which Jeremiah, welcome back to the Michael Bay. Just saying.
No, this is different Michael Bay. This is not Michael Bay. You cannot say real. Yeah, you cannot add realism to this movie. This movie is just
Armageddon.
Sean Connery is an old man kicking ass. Okay.
Taking
Ed
notes.
Harris too, bro. Ed Harris is legit.
Ed Harris.
As with every movie we review, we try to pair it with a cocktail that we hope will enhance the viewing experience. Ed, why don't you take us through this delightful cocktail for this film this evening?
Yes, tonight, guys, we're drinking the grunge. Just kidding. We're keeping it more simple. Take your favorite hard liquor and pour it over some ice. You know what? Then sit back and watch some explosions, some gnarly deaths, and some top-class overacting from Nicolas Cage while you sip on the drink on the rocks. That's
Wait.
I'm not sure.
You fucking got me mixed up. I'm like, the grunge. This is fucking badass. What the fuck am I
I know.
drinking? Oh,
I know, but-
I'm not gonna lie though. You keep saying explosions. The first like 15 minutes of the movie had explosions, and then the rest of the movie.
Oh my god, I'm going.
very
Listen,
like-
we got to talk about that car chase scene, which is like trolley car blowing up
My
for
helmet!
absolutely no
My
reason.
helmet! Don't scratch my helmet!
I'm enjoying a little bit of bourbon. Jeremiah, what are you sipping on? Sean and Brandon?
I'm doing a little rum.
Is that Captain?
Rocks on it?
I'm
Yeah.
sipping on a Truly Over Ice here. Truly Over Ice.
True over ice.
Kraken.
Well, I am
Brandon?
enjoying me a good old Fireball on ice because that's what I drink and I love it.
Oh, it's not a Zima.
No,
'Cause
no,
I was
that's
just like,
Jeremiah's.
going,
That's
bro,
or that
where'd
was
you
Eddie's.
bust out that Zima, dude?
That's
That
Eddie.
was supposed to be
I
for
was
me.
trying
I'm
to.
not saying
You're
that.
supposed to read
I'm
the
not
damn
saying
script.
that.
Let's start talking about the movie. So one of the opening sequence of the movie is essentially Ed Harris and his band of now mercenaries stealing the VX rockets from the military base, and he loses one of his men.
It was right before that, though. It was also like the funeral, which I felt like was really emotional.
My point of saying this is that all of a sudden you have a villain who's emerging in the movie that is a very sympathetic villain. Like I don't think there's anyone who's watching this movie who's like, oh, this guy's an evil soul who's trying to kill all of San Francisco. No, he has a purpose. He has a methodical plan, and his plan is altruistic. And in my opinion, these are the best types of villains in cinema.
Well,
I'm not saying this is a great villain. I'm just saying that this type of villain I really like.
Yeah, well, with the exception of one time, right? One time, I think that we really do like our Brigadier General. And the only part that where he shows himself to be kind of the cold-hearted bastard that he actually kind of is, but isn't. I don't know. Is when he realizes that we got Goodspeed, we got Mason, they're still alive, and he's like, all stops are pulled. Go find them, go kill them, go make them pay. But yeah, I think that it's interesting, and I actually took note of all the different times that Ed Harris's character really shows himself to be a decent person, from telling the little girls to go tell their teacher to get out of there for their field trip, to to him
Yes.
re-navigating the missile so that it doesn't hit the football game. So yeah, I think that, like you said,
Even saying "hold fire" in the the showers, hold fire. He was saying it right away. I didn't realize how quickly he was saying that.
I remember seeing this movie when I was little and seeing Ed Harris being the villain, and like, oh my god, he's a villain. Because at the time he was never a fucking villain.
He's
Never,
a good,
ever.
he's a good
guy
villain
all the
though.
time.
And he's only a villain in a fucking Nicolas Cage movie. He was a
You know,
villain
and I'm
in
just
National
like-
Treasure too.
Oh, he
I'm
was.
like, what the
Like-
fuck?
He was.
I was like, yo, this guy is pretty badass as a villain, man. Because you know what? He's just got those blue eyes, and they're just icy blue, and just fucking like, it puts you on a spellbound. You know what's so weird about that movie? It's like in the beginning of the intro, right?
Which one?
They get in the movie of The Rock.
Okay.
And when they go in and they get the missiles, but they don't kill any of the soldiers, right? They use like those dart guns to knock them out and shit like that.
Tranquilizers, yeah.
Yeah. Why would they not use that with that when like the SEAL team comes in by the shower room? How come we don't have like dart guns for them? I didn't understand that part. Like, fuck, I
That's a
thought
good
you guys
point.
were not down to kill your own kind and shit, dude. What happened there?
So they had two separate weapons on when they're extracting the Viets. So I mean, it looked like I saw it this time because there were some people that had weapons that they didn't use it, and then there was other ones that were using the tranquilizers. So it looked like they had guns if shit was gonna hit the fan, but they were very smooth in and out quickly. It looked like on the Rock, they were just bringing the straight up guns, and whoever's coming over here, we have to just fight off. I don't know.
So he pretty much he just walked away from his morals, like not to destroy or kill his soldiers or his fellow his fellow Marine and stuff like that. That's what I was like, what the fuck, yo?
He's
I never
super
actually thought about that,
wishy-washy.
and I think you're right. And to me, the shower scene is the dumbest scene in the movie because you've got look at. I loved the jumping out of the helicopter. They go in underwater. They go through the fucking furnace where Mason's like, I hope it hasn't been changed, and it's like the timing hasn't been changed, and they're going.
That was great.
He goes
Sean.
and rolls under and does all his shit, and it's like he's got that great line, "Welcome to the Rock," and then it's like let's put everyone in a little hole and make them just weapons fodder for the entire group there.
Yeah.
It just seems like it was a bad strategy.
It was a bad strategy.
It's a huge island. Mason and fucking Godspell. He ran around the whole fucking island the rest of the time and didn't get caught.
Yeah.
So don't tell me that they couldn't have gone outside and been just fine. I'm sorry.
Listen. We do have to, if we're talking about dumb parts of the movie, we got to talk about it. I know we're jumping around, but to me, this is a flawless fucking movie. There's so many great parts to it. It's an action movie that I genuinely get behind. However, it wasn't until watching it again last night that I realized how fucking stupid it is that we have a train cart chase with that whole
Indiana Jones, bro.
That whole sequence, dude. We've got the swinging train cart.
come on.
We've got on the rails, and all of a sudden we've got literally a train cart.
Don't go.
Oh, I'm going there.
That looked like
I'm going there. I'm back.
didn't it? I was like, wow, where does this come from?
Time out. First off,
It's like literally out of the blue.
It took. I didn't realize how long it took to get to the Navy SEALs team to get to Alcatraz. It took a whole hour into the movie. In my head, I thought it was like within like 30, like maybe 20 minutes. There was a whole movie before the movie with Mason, going, getting his haircut.
Trimmed, and 18 hours goes very, very slow.
It's a shower, and a shave.
Those are like the worst FBI agents, by the way. It's just like, okay, you're going to get distracted by food.
Yeah.
And you're just going to not pay attention to your fucking guy that you need to watch.
Out there alone with a hairstylist and an FBI agent who doesn't know what he's doing that well.
And when he's in the elevator, and the guy's like, I didn't see you throw that nice gentleman off the balcony. Like, there are some gems in this movie of one-liners that are just fucking hysterical.
You didn't like that car scene? The car chase, Brandon?
The car chase?
No, he's saying the cart.
Oh, no.
Later on, there's a cart chase, like an Indiana Jones
yeah.
cart chase.
It was like Temple of Doom, bro.
Eddie.
We were on that fucking like train
Temple driving through San Francisco, blowing up all of San Francisco.
Eddie.
Destroyed half the shit.
I know. Eddie, to answer your question, I think that literally every single fucking car chase scene, with the exception of Italian Job, every car chase scene is just pointless in any movie. I just think it goes on way too long. But
can I tell you why this one was perfect and why you're wrong?
We threw in a trolley that goes off the rail.
Because he doesn't know where he's going. Because the only person who figures it out is fucking Goodspeed. He's Goodspeed. Sorry. Sean Connery escapes. He gets in this fucking Humvee. He answers the phone while he's driving the Humvee for the owner of the Humvee. Give me back my Humvee. And he's like, I'm sorry.
It was a German guy. Yeah. It's not stolen.
I think the car chase is pretty fucking funny to me because like everything that can be an obstacle to come into the screen just comes to the screen. You have old lady, and all of a sudden,
we did have that.
And then you have the slowest car. What is it? The water truck or something like that. And it's just like going slow so it can get hit. It's the funniest thing, and it makes me laugh because like. He calls his daughter, right? Like, hey, that's the whole point, right? He figures it out. Well, how come the FBI doesn't have like an idea? Like, hey, his daughter is in town.
No, can I tell you why? Can I tell you
why? It was hush hush.
They did explain that.
It was hush
because Womack had held him without trial and had buried his file so deep and deleted all his names and all of his aliases, so nobody really knew who this motherfucker was. He basically held this guy without a trial for 45 fucking years or whatever.
Yeah, true. But somehow Nicolas Cage, FBI agent,
he went back to 1979 because Goodspeed's a smart fucking guy.
FBI
He's a smart fucking guy.
He's a chemist.
And then the rest of the FBI couldn't figure that one out. Okay.
Jeremiah, he's a
chemist who can drive a damn Ferrari.
Biochemical super freak.
Yeah.
The rest of them are FBI though, right? I mean, he's the only FBI agent.
If we're talking about things that don't make sense, because why not? I mean, because it's a Michael Bay movie, not everything's going to make sense. Sometimes it just comes together like a beautiful artwork, and that's what this one is. But okay, so you got Mason in the interrogation room. You got Goodspeed go in there. You got him to sign the thing. He's agreed to helping out, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is going to work out. So you're going to get out, and you're going to be, free if you help us out. Everything's going in line." Then all of a sudden, there's absolutely no reason for him to be like, "Who's behind the tinted camera right here?" Because why on earth would he break that with that quarter? And smash it just to see who he's gonna meet in 2 minutes. Like that's literally what he's about to do. And I'm sitting there going, "My God,
I don't know how he was able to do that."
First of all, he took the quarter, he stamped on it,
amazing, made it really sharp,
creating a corner.
Yes.
Then he drew the circle.
I've always wanted to try that.
Aged elbow, he thrust through the window.
Just for him to say, "Womack,
Womack."
You piece of shit."
I knew it was you.
You piece
Literally,
of shit.
because I'm just sitting there going, like, you're gonna meet that person in about 42 seconds, and it just there's some things.
And then
dude,
I don't understand why Womack tears up the thing. Like, well, I mean, there's no reason. This guy is 75 years old. Why are you worried about him anymore?
Well, it's because he's got the film.
I don't understand.
Because he has secrets of he has the film for J. Edgar Hoover, and he could pretty much expose.
JFK.
No, Hoover's information. He stole all the Hoover's information.
Okay.
Yeah, from the FBI.
But
now
he's also the one of the worst FBI strategy. He goes into
Who?
the Pentagon, Womack. And he goes, "This can't release out of public, right? We can't let the public to be known. But make sure that you notify the hostages' families and everything like that." Like, what the fuck? What is that? It's like,
tell him it's a gas leak.
Yeah, it's gonna fucking really come out, dude.
And I will say this: the music of this movie. Okay, so yeah, they have a bunch of action music, but that little Irish music that that plays when he does a good thing, to me, it's like it's some of the best music you can get in a movie. It makes you uplifted. It gives you hope. Like I fucking love that little little flute. This kind of comes up, and it's just
was it Hans Zimmer on this one?
Jeremiah, you're gonna pat me on the back with this one because this is the movie. This is the score that made me say, I fucking love Hans Zimmer. This movie was what established my love for Hans Zimmer, and I have never turned back. So no, this is Hans Zimmer. I think
did have a Pirates of the Caribbean vibe to it when I was listening to this.
I had a freaking. For me, it was like what's the one with Mel Gibson? And he's like
Braveheart.
I don't know. I don't know why I felt a little Braveheart every time I got the
Irish, little Scottish.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a little Irish flute. That's what it was. It was very similar to a lot of those like Far and Away movies, like a lot of those kind of those I guess Irish movies.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
I got to admit for this movie here, guys, like I think that it might be a little kind of just a little overblown. Don't get me wrong, but
a little overblown,
just a little overblown, dude.
96.
This might be Bay's best work, and that's saying a lot. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. But the actors in this movie, holy shit, there are so many good fucking actors in this movie, dude. I was like, oh shit, what's up, John C. McGinley? Michael Biehn, come on, any day. David Morse,
I think is one of the most underrated underrated actors. Always, every time he's in anything, I love it.
I tell you, David Morse. Yeah, David Morse played a villain in the show House in season 1 or 2, and he was a police officer that was trying to catch House for illegal prescriptions and drugs and stuff. It was like an 8 or 10 episode stint, and he was so fucking good. I was like, that's where I fell in love with him. I was like, you are a great actor because you could be kind and wonderful and then turn around and just be like the biggest asshole ever.
He was also in Disturbia, right? He was the villain.
Yeah, he was the villain.
He was the villain in Disturbia with Tom Cruise.
No.
Yeah, no, that was
this is with Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking
Green Mile. He was in Green Mile with Tom Hanks, and he was fantastic in that one. But you know what he is? He's one of those actors that's so subtle and quiet and kind of he does such a perfect job of kind of filling in the background that he doesn't stand out.
Holy
right?
Shit.
He's not flashy. He is not Nicolas Cage, which we have to talk about.
So time out. I want everyone to know, I think we might have a little Michael Biehn crush. We've done a lot of movies of his. Just throwing it out there.
We did Terminator 2.
Tombstone.
Oh, Tombstone. He was fabulous.
Shit.
Have you reviewed Aliens? Did we do Aliens?
No, we did not do Aliens.
Not yet. Not yet.
You have done a lot of
will.
movies with this guy. Shit.
I was just fooling. I wasn't. Johnny Ringo. He's a great actor.
He is.
He's a great actor. Love
He
Michael
was
Biehn.
actually in a Mandalorian episode too, I think,
Yep.
not too long ago. So
He was on the Jedi episode with Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka Tano. So let's talk a little bit about. I mean, we talked about the characters. Let's talk about Nicolas Cage, because this is where, in my opinion, as much as I love this movie, I think Nicolas Cage is a good actor.
Oh,
He is not good in this movie.
so isn't it?
He is not good at all.
He is a chemist. I just see him as a chemist.
To me, this is how I think of life. Like in the big picture, it's sad that years and years from now, people are going to be going back and studying some of the considered to be greatest performances ever, and to go with who has won an Oscar for best acting. And he has won. David Morse will never win an Oscar. Michael Biehn never win an Oscar. Nicolas Cage has won an Oscar, and I'm telling you, I don't know that.
Here, let me throw this out.
It's so
What
bad.
movie? What movie did he?
Leaving Las Vegas.
No, Leaving Las Vegas.
Oh,
He won for Best Actor.
Yeah, no.
do you win two then?
He's been he nominated.
No, he was
for an
nominated.
adaptation.
Okay,
But he won for Best
so
Actor.
he won. So think about this: he won one. He won an Academy Award before Leo.
Yeah.
Before Martin Scorsese.
Yep.
Before.
You know?
Before Christoph Waltz. Before I mean, just if I could go down the list, it's like holy.
That's
shit.
who we're leaving him up there with, though.
Yeah, I know.
So he does these movies that are like known or fun to watch. John in 60 Seconds, Con Air, like
National Treasure.
National Treasure. Like I don't know. Like he has, even though he's like this B-list actor style, he does
You know
movies that
why,
are like
though, Ed?
fun to watch. It's
The
weird.
dude
Like,
says
does he know?
doesn't say
does
no.
he know his
He
talent?
doesn't say no. He doesn't say no to a single offer.
But the 90s, he was the shit.
Face
I mean,
Off.
Just think about this. I read this online. Someone said like The Rock, Con Air, and Face Off is the greatest unofficial trilogy of all time when you think about
Oh,
it.
absolutely, 100%.
know.
I will get behind that.
I read something about Cage, like he literally got ripped for this role because he was like, dude, I'm going to be a fucking action star and shit. And I read something where Michael Bay goes up to him. He's like, dude, you're an FBI agent who never uses a gun. Like, chill, dude. You're not going to be like this fucking like super
Because he
action
walks around.
star.
He walks around, and his
he
amp
fit
is
it
turned up to
perfectly.
11 every single second of every single. Like, how many times does he
He's
just
always
yell?
yelling. I don't understand, dude. Just like, what's up?
Okay,
you
so
freaking kidding me?
I wrote this down because to me this is the most obvious Nicolas Cageism. But when he goes, what do you say we cut the chit chat a hole? Like, it just makes absolutely
I read something.
no sense.
You want tough? You want tough? All right, FBI, sucker.
He add that to his character, that his character for whatever reason does not curse, and so that's why he does things like, "You freaking kidding me, a-hole?" Like, so that was his go-to thing, man. And I read something about one of the writers, dude. Like, one of the writers said to him or said about the movie, like, when he wrote the movie and all these other writers that wrote the movie, there was nothing funny about it. Anything that was kind of funny, it was because it was improvised by Cage in this movie. Simple as that.
So what Nicolas Cage, the thing that I love about Nicolas Cage is that he can be very good. There was a movie called The Weatherman.
Yes.
and it was him and
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. And that movie was trash. The whole movie was trash. But there is one scene in that movie where they're sitting in a car together, Michael Caine and Nicolas Cage. And it is, in my opinion, one of the greatest scenes ever got on film, with two amazing actors who are so natural together. And it was just one of the most gorgeous film scenes ever. That movie, once again, trash. But he has the capacity to be good, to be great.
Have you guys seen that one with?
He's
with
kind of getting
Pedro Pascal?
reintroduced to Hollywood again, dude.
Have you guys seen that one?
That's the one I was asked. It was with his
I haven't
name,
seen
Incredible
right?
Weight of Massive Talent.
Yeah, is that one good?
I
It
haven't
looks
seen
great.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It looks great. I have
haven't
it.
seen
I haven't got a chance to see it.
I'll watch it and report.
Please do.
All right. So, what did you guys think of Sean Connery? Because I was thinking about
Amazing.
this because
With the exception of Indiana Jones,
Like, if you look at the
this is his role.
Pantheon, he's kind of toward the end of his career here.
It was like watching a James Bond movie.
He carries this movie.
This movie's 90, 98.
He carries.
96.
I agree. He carries this movie. 96. Sean Connery carried this movie. I think all of a sudden people were interested in Sean Connery movies again after this movie, if that makes sense. Like all of a sudden it's like, I need to know all the movies that he played in because he's just badass. Like I want to be a British intelligent officer.
Listen, not to go back to Nicolas Cage, but there's a scene where Nicolas Cage does the let's stop the chit chat a-hole part, and the whole time I my eyes are just like staring at Sean Connery, going, how many times did they have to film this so that Sean Connery's face doesn't break and go, what the fuck am I doing in this movie? Like literally, what happened to my career? How did it get to this point?
But he only had 5 movies after this. This was 5 movies from retirement.
Entrapment.
And for me, no, he had Entrapment. He had The Avengers, which was, in my opinion,
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Liked it. It was his last movie.
That should have been a great one.
And Finding Forrester, which was fabulous.
Finding Forrester was good.
Finding Forrester, I love that one.
Yeah.
Playing by the Heart was the other one, but that one was trash. Sean Connery is one of my favorite actors of all time, bar none. Okay?
No,
but
really?
what he does is he takes this character of John Mason, and it's like Sean Connery with just a hint of this character. Sean Connery with a hint of this character. He doesn't really ever diverge from his Sean Connery. There's no discernible difference between John Mason in this movie or his character from Entrapment.
Yep.
It's the same fucking character.
I'd agree.
It's the same.
I'd agree. You're watching Sean Connery.
Dude, I mean, I'm not going to say, but he was like John Wick in this fucking movie. He was literally hanging upside down, knocking people down, fucking gun outs and shit like that. One-on-one battles and shit. I'm like, God damn.
Jogging
Sean,
on the beach.
Where the fuck, yeah, jogging around.
Sean fucking Connery, bro. Like,
do you know why he retired? Really?
What's up?
So there was an interview with him, and he said no to 3 movies in 2001, 2002. He said no to 3 roles because he didn't understand movies anymore. Well, the first one was The Matrix. He was supposed to play Mr. Smith.
Oh,
and he would have been. It would have been a totally different movie.
Oh yeah,
if he had played Mr. Smith. He was offered the role of Gandalf, and just couldn't.
It's a long movie. It's a long series.
Can't
there
in my head.
Yeah, no.
Couldn't figure.
It's also a long series.
And he was offered the role of Dumbledore, and couldn't figure out Harry Potter. And he's reading the script, and he literally does not understand the movie. He's like, movies have moved beyond me. I'm done. He did the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which was about as far stretched in the CGI as he really wanted to go, and it was flopped. And he was like, "I'm done, guys. I'm not doing movies anymore," which is a shame.
But he believed in this movie. You know that?
The Rock.
He was so about this movie. I read something that he berated like Disney execs to like give Babe more money. He's like, "You fucking assholes! You guys are living in your ivory tower. This guy's fucking like giving you gold and shit. Give him more money."
Yes.
And guess what? Made it happen.
So does the plot work at all, guys? Do you think it like?
Oh my god!
I mean,
Eddie,
realistically,
this is a
whoa.
There's no holes in this script.
No, not to you, Ed. Jeremiah is shaking his head. 81 hostages on Alcatraz. Team of SEALs goes in. The 2 weakest members, John Mason and Stanley Goodspeed, they escape from the massacre under the
tunnels of Alcatraz,
dismantling all of the different weapons. They know how many rockets there are. He knows all he has to do is take out the guidance chips. He takes out the guidance chips. He throws them away, and then there's 2 left, and they find the other 2, and then he kills the guy with putting the thing in his mouth, and then
Jeremiah, this is more realistic than a documentary could have been.
How is this not a bad plot? It's the greatest plot of any movie ever told.
We're so blunt in this. Come on, dude. We know this is a fun movie, but it doesn't add together. Come on, guys. Come on. I can't be the other fucking person.
You're the only person, Jeremiah.
Tell me, please.
Okay, first of all, the general should already know that they were never going to ever give him the fucking ransom money or anything like that. That was completely bullshit. That was stupid right there, okay? Second of all, in this day and age, it would not be able to happen where somehow you are able to fly not just 1, but 3 Black Hawk Downs and shit like that, or 3 Black Hawks, into a center of an area where it does not get noticed and shit like that. I'm just saying, like, somehow the most craziest weapons of all time, and no one's not paying attention. Everyone has a pass. It just doesn't add up to me on that part, dude. But I go with it because it's a fun movie.
There is one
but
thing.
come on,
you
dude.
suggest that the brigadier general knew more than everybody
I'm gonna
else.
say
He
that.
knew all the protocols, so he knew how to infiltrate and get where he needed to be.
But he couldn't land the part at the end. So to me, like, this guy's a great general, and he knew that they were going to bluff with him.
Sorry, Barb.
You knew that they were not going to do anything about it. And
So
I
let's
hate
go back to this money thing. You don't think the government would have given up the money to the soldiers?
it was never going to happen.
Only
It
for
was
$100
never
million.
gonna happen.
And you
Sean,
think about that? Only for $100 million?
For whatever reason, they kept dragging their feet. Oh, we need one more hour. I'm like, okay, yeah, of course we do.
I'm saying, realistically, you just have the Air Force just fly by, drop bombs instantly. Okay, we've lost 81 and a few Marines that gone exiled, and then over, done. Right?
Yeah, there was no negotiation. There was no like, oh my God, what do we need to do? Save millions of people? It's just like, it doesn't add up to me.
Well, that was their contingency plan. Their contingency plan was to blow up the not 1 square meter missed. I mean, that was their whole contingency plan. Jeremiah, that was on the table, and the president didn't want to do it because he believed in his SEAL team. And when his SEAL team got massacred, he was like, I believe in Stanley Goodspeed.
Yeah. So here, I just want to tell a quick story here because this is, to me, how I associate The Rock and why the Rock is so important in my life. The Rock is one of those few R-rated movies that, like, my parents, for whatever reason, were like, yes, this is a fantastic movie. Let's watch it at 7:00 after dinner. Okay. So funny flash ahead in my life. My brother is in 3rd grade and at the beginning of the school year, and he has to make a poster chart all about him. And it was like, what's your name? What are your parents' name? Do you have any pets? And then it got down to favorite movie. And my brother put The Rock. And this is when it had just come out to VHS. And my parents got a call from the teacher and said, we need to have a sit down because your son just said that The Rock is his favorite movie. And so here's my parents defending watching The Rock with the 3rd grader. I watched this whole movie last night. I'm like, yeah, that teacher had a point. Like, what the fuck were my parents thinking?
No, other than the little sex scene in the beginning of the movie, this movie is way more tame than anything.
Bubbling
like
face, Sean.
Netflix,
Bubbling face.
No, come on.
That was the thing, though, Sean, is that my parents were cool and are cool with absolutely anything as long as it's not sex. You can have them shooting up. You can have them dropping F-bombs left and right. You can have them decapitating somebody. My parents
Jones
won't
had melted
bat an eye.
faces, and that was PG-13.
But I cannot think of The Rock without thinking of my brother saying, "This is my favorite movie."
Yeah,
as a
but there's
grade.
a lot of shit. There's a lot of fucks. There's a lot of bad language and shit. Yeah,
Is there a
I can
fuck?
see
Oh,
that.
there's a shitload of
there's
fuck.
so
A
many
fuckload of
so,
fuck.
Yeah.
So I want to say I was 11 when this movie came out. Okay, Brandon, I think we were 11.
Yeah, we were 11.
I want to say we were 11. So this is a part of me. I really enjoyed the high ground. I did where the Navy SEALs came in.
We took the high ground.
No, I reenacted that scene with my GI Joes. I love GI Joes, guys. Okay, I had a shitload of GI Joes. So Jeremiah had like about 1,000 GI Joes. I had about 1,000 GI Joes. I had the GI Joes against the.
I told you to stand down.
Yeah. I had it set up, bro. I built it a cardboard box, and I made it seem like the same fucking exact same scene. The last hour of the movie, even though how funny and everyone's laughing, I enjoyed it because it was just like an action pack. I was like, okay, come on, Stanley Goodspeed, we gotta get to the next fucking bomb. Like, let's defuse it. Sean Connery, let you guys get on the same team. Like,
this is a fucking good movie, Jeremiah. This is a true to reality movie.
The ending of the movie is pretty badass when he's got the flares. And it's just shot badass where he's just
God, yeah.
Apocalypse Now? Is Apocalypse Now?
But the best part,
it looked like a platoon. It looked like
But
platoon.
the best part, Jeremiah, is literally, even though it's shot with like this hero shot, and then when you see the flight, the planes coming in, like you can't even recognize that he's there. But man, it looks like he's like should be seen from miles and miles away.
But he's got a guy with a
Yeah,
camera.
yeah,
Like,
there's
great
camera
smoke! I
people.
can see great smoke.
Yep.
Great smoke! I can see great smoke.
And the best part, dude, okay, it's a great stunt. You literally see the guy getting blown up and you see the wires hanging behind him.
Do you see that? I didn't see that.
Jeremiah, you are reading too much into this movie.
He hates Michael Bay. That's what it is.
What?
Jeremiah hates
Wires.
Michael Bay.
I just thought he would have blown up. I just automatically thought he would have blown up. I didn't think he saw wires.
I'm just saying, if you can't get behind Point Break,
I
then
can't
you're
get
full
behind
of
Point
shit.
Break.
Oh no,
This is
Point Break.
like Point Break.
This had a couple of cringy Point Break moments, but this movie is vastly superior to Point Break.
Vastly.
When the guy gets hit with a rocket, when he says, "God, that terrible line."
Rocket
Are
Man?
you like Rocket Man? Because you are Rocket Man.
Like
'Cause it's you.
he has to explain his joke. Like, I don't have the soft core bullshit. And I'm like,
It's like he's standing in front of the rocket and he's just like, oh, he's gonna do something with the rocket. He's not getting this. You're not getting this.
So the guy, here's the thing. So the guy's standing in front of the rocket. He has to clip over this, like the thing that's covering the switch.
Yeah.
Hit the switch. The rocket ignites and then goes. And then you can see when the guy comes out, he's getting pulled through behind him. He's getting pulled through the window, and the rocket is a good 4 feet from him.
It's the power.
Could have moved out of the way.
It's
like, like that would have been a much funnier thing is if he went like, ha ha, and just the rocket went out. He just moved to the right, just slightly to the left, and then the rocket went out the window.
so
And why was the rocket inside? Why is it inside? These stupid fucking people set up these rockets inside.
So
It's glass. It's not much of a barrier.
That scene was question. Okay, here's a question. That was the last scene. That was the last rocket, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was the last rocket.
Okay,
Yeah.
so why was the fighter jets all of a sudden? Why were they still coming? Did they not know that was the last rocket?
No, they did not know. They didn't know that he had disabled the rockets.
They still thought that there was 10 left.
They were taking Jeremy's approach, which he is right. They probably should have taken from the beginning, which is just blow up Alcatraz. The other part of that, Jeremiah, is they didn't want to explode the rockets with VX poison gas because they didn't know if that would affect San Francisco proper.
That should have been like locked up in an Area 51 building, not just where somebody could just walk into it.
Ed Harris was a legit general. It's like
I thought the theft made sense. Like the way they did the beginning theft, I thought it all checked out pretty well.
So here's my problem with it, Brandon. Why are there biological weapons created by the United States of America? Didn't we agree in some treaty somewhere let's not have biological weapons anymore? I mean, this is VX poison gas. It doesn't exist.
So with the explanation of Goodspeed, when he explained it to Mason, Sean Connery, that was pretty cool. Like how he was explaining pretty much what it's going to do to you, and all of a sudden Mason's just like, oh shit.
That's what a 5 movie will do to you. Yeah.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like, just give it back to me.
Yeah, but at the end of the fucking movie, he's running around going crazy with that too. Like he's totally not doing what he's.
He just placed it down. He just placed it down on fucking ground. Hold on.
And why did he put? Okay, so he had the one, right? Okay,
that he's running and jumping through doors.
He drops all, and he just the one. He gets the one bead, the one green.
Puts it in his pocket. He puts it in his fucking pocket too.
When he's about to go into a fist fight.
But why not put it in with the other beads in that little
Sean,
grate?
because then you wouldn't get that amazing choke down that gas moment. That was great.
And then,
which was a cool scene. It was a cool scene.
Stab himself with the.
So he had no weapon to defend Goodspeed. There, he had no weapon. He thought, "This is my only weapon, and I have a fucking 12-inch needle that's supposed to stick." He's thinking in his head. I think he knew what he was going to do with that. I do think.
By the way, did you guys notice how he stuck it in his belly button and not his heart?
He missed.
Anybody else notice how damn low that thing was on his body?
It was more of his lower nipple.
He missed.
It was just not. It wasn't quite his heart.
It was not a heart shot.
Oh my god! I love these movies apart because they're just so fucking ridiculous, but they're still good. They're still fun.
Oh yeah. One of my favorite moments in this movie is Sean Connery when he's taken out. He's got the string of beads up there, and Nicolas Cage's character turns to him and yells at him like, "Yeah, Goodspeed says, don't move." And you just have this look on Sean Connery's face, this hardened criminal, this badass actor that we've come to love, and he looks like a 7-year-old getting scolded. And I think it's one of the greatest shots of any movie because of the way that Sean Connery just has this innocent, dumbfounded look on his face. And I'm like, that's acting right there. He owned it right there with that shot.
Let's play a little game. So this movie cost $75 million to make. Okay, $75 million. How much do you think it made? How do you think its worldwide gross was?
Let me look
355 million.
I'm going to say 480.
I'll go with,
Ed?
I'll go with, so you said how much, Jimmy? 355? 480?
Yeah, you're going to go like the
I'll go
356?
I'll go right in the middle. I'm going to go with like 405.
335,602,000 million, whatever. $335 million, because I can't read. $335 million is this movie.
I overshot that.
That was worldwide. Its
You know
gross in the United States was only 134,000, and this was a raving success. Raving.
That was huge. That was huge.
Well, that's because movie tickets were $3. I mean, if that was now adjusted, this would be over.
also
Joe
800.
Biden's inflation.
This would be over 800.
It would have beat Avatar.
Pretty sure The Rock also was, you guys remember the dollar theaters? Pretty sure it was there for like 5 years. Like,
Dude, that was summer vacation. What's wrong with you?
What do you guys think about the end where he goes to that church and he steals
when he vaporizes?
No, he steals the pew, the pew leg, and he gets the microfilm. What I mean,
it seemed out of honestly, it seems out of place in the movie that it's at, but at the same time, it's kind of like this movie is just to throw everything at you. Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that we get that reiteration that they got married or that confirmation they got married. But honestly, for a movie that takes itself really seriously, even though it has a tongue-in-cheek kind of quality to it, I felt like the ending was a little bit just, let's just throw it out there and let's see who killed JFK.
It's an ending, it's a Michael Bay ending. It's like, it's what you expect, that's it. Oh, okay. Yeah, cool,
See, I thought it set it up for a sequel. I really did. I thought like they were going to go find John Mason on his way to the Canadian border. Like, I mean, it would have been fun. Like, that would have been fun, like a fun sequel.
Oh, that would have been great. Maybe they could have done like someone was in New York, welcome to the Empire or something, or welcome to the Liberty or something.
Technically, Mason just gave away something. He said, "Hey, I don't want this trouble anymore. Goodspeed, you could have it, and you can get in trouble with it now."
He sets him up.
He sets him up in a way, right?
Well, yeah, that would have been a fitting like post-credit sequence. And Walmart's like, "Give me the microfilm. Give me the microfilm, Goodspeed."
And that brings us to the end of review. Now it's time of the podcast where each of the hosts provides a score on the following scale. General, it's great to serve with you. Can you provide the scale, please?
Yeah, you put some respect back in my name, right? 0, the perfect movie. You don't need shit to enjoy it. 1, a feel-good first cocktail. 2, a happy buzz. 3, you're going to Uber or lifting home. 4, rough morning walk of shame. 5, blackout, shit-faced, spring break drunk. Gentlemen, let's start with myself. I'll go first. So this movie holds a lot of just good memories with this movie. I mean, I don't think I have a bad memory of this movie. It's hard not to notice all the great actors in this movie. And the storyline, I enjoy the storyline. It's a different storyline. It won't hold up to today. I do think it's still somehow aged well, if that makes sense. At the same time, I think the movie, it doesn't miss a beat with watching it. The score is amazing. The whole idea of the Navy SEALs against the old Navy SEALs, I'm a big Sean Connery fan and Ed Harris. Like, those guys are just like, when I think of like badass actors, I think of those two guys. I enjoy this movie. This just holds a special place in my heart with my younger years. Now, is there some major plot holes? Yes. It's not gonna. There is major plot holes. Like, first off, come on. You send only 12 guys over there. How about you send 2 Navy SEALs team on both sides of the island? Like, or how about you send more than 1 chemist? I don't know. How about you also just blow up the island? I don't know.
He was the best biological man.
So,
and this is from the same mind that said, let's teach drillers to become astronauts instead of astronauts to become drillers.
Eddie,
so
go ahead.
just remember where we're coming from.
So this movie, but it's hard to like. It's a movie that it's a funny movie. It's a feel good movie that you're gonna have a great time watching with your family. For me, it's an average movie. Okay, so I'm gonna give this a 2.22. That's what I'm going to give this, a 2.22. So this is below an average movie. So I think it's actually better than an average movie, if that makes sense. A 2.22.
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm going to give this movie. Jeremiah.
Jeremiah.
Eddie, I appreciate your kind of
Oh
scoring.
no, I wasn't. I was hitting my chest.
You pointed yourself.
Go?
You said
You want me to go, Jeremiah?
Go for it,
Oh,
Sean.
sure.
I'm
Go
at
for it.
2.22.
So in the pantheon of Sean Connery movies, I think this is one of the best, one of his best. In the pantheon of Nicolas Cage movies, ironically, I believe it's one of his best. Look at
This is
movie
the Elvis
is-
back of the 90s.
I like Nicolas Cage movies.
Me and Brandon have this argument / conversation all the time. The reason for movies is to go and sit down for 2.5 hours and get lost in the screen
Yes.
and forget your troubles and sometimes it's for thinking and sometimes it's for getting lost in mystery and so on and so forth. But this is the quintessential reason why movies have enthralled audiences since the beginning of the bulb flickering in the darkened theater. This is the reason. This movie is the reason. It's fun. It's energetic. It's got great sound. It's got great effects. It holds up. I couldn't really tell you if this movie was made today or 25 years ago. It doesn't matter. There's not really anything that I'm like, ooh, it's like, ooh, that's a bad reference, or ooh, that's not a good look. Like, I think that the supporting cast in it is wonderful. It's got quotable lines. Now, all that positive is set against the negative, which is it's a Michael Bay film, and Michael Bay is not Christopher Nolan. He's not Scorsese. He's not Spielberg. There was a great line that Harrison Ford leaned over and said to Mark Hamill on the set of Star Wars. They had just gotten out of the trash compactor, and Mark Hamill says, "Shouldn't my hair be wet and schmutzy because we just got out of the trash compactor and not like perfectly combed?" And Harrison Ford leans over and says, "It's not that kind of movie, kid. If they're looking at your hair, we've already lost." It's the same kind of thing going on in this movie. If you're trying to notice the plot holes, or if you're trying to pick apart the FBI protocol or the Navy SEALs, or how the fact that the FBI is directing the Navy SEAls, I have no idea how that one's going.
Yes.
You're not going to win. You're not going to enjoy the process. If you suspend your disbelief for just 2.5 hours, sit down, have a popcorn, have a Diet Coke, and enjoy the shit out of this movie, I think that you're gonna love it. I highly recommend this to all people. That being said, I'm with Ed. I think that it's a little bit better than average. I'm gonna go with a 2.35.
Damn it! I gave it too high.
And now Jeremiah's going to ruin all of our scores by giving it a 7.
7, dude. I'm going to say that The Rock is just, there's no morals or logic to it. It's a big, dumb, brainless action film that makes you want to get a pack of Co-Red Mountain Dew and have pizza rolls and you just go with it, okay? It is not the greatest film in the world. However, it's a fun film, okay? And the reason why it's a fun film, dude, is because for me, it's the acting. It's the actors, man. This is like the MVP of that era of all actors. Cage, Harris, fucking Connery, even the supporting actors, they're fucking great, dude. And it made me miss a time where when I'm watching this, I'm like, fuck, they don't make movies like this. And now in this day and age, it's all fucking superheroes and sequels and all that shit, And it has like no soul, It's just like no pulse or anything like that. And it made me miss a time where like, fuck, these were movies that were made and you know what? They were successful. I don't think we're ever going to get those things again. Okay, don't get me wrong. It's a cool movie, man. It's the Fast and the Furious of its time, but I fucking hate the Fast and the Furious, So you guys talked me down from the score because I was going to give it over a 3, but this is a 2.85 for me, guys. It's a Michael Bay film. I can only do so much with Michael Bay film.
The most difficultly added movie on our list.
2.85.
2.85. Yes.
Okay.
So at this point, there's no surprise that I don't like action movies. I think that they're stupid. I think that they're pointless. I think that they're not fun to watch. I think that it takes a magical hand to make an action movie watchable, let alone enjoyable. Michael Bay, for as much as I genuinely hate everything that this guy does, he had a magic hand in 1996 because this movie is a movie that, and yeah, I'm biased 100% because I mean, there's a reason that my brother said that this is his favorite movie back in third grade. And that's because we watched this movie. I grew up watching this movie. I grew up with this notion of Sean Connery as this untouchable, no pun intended, person, right? Because he was this character. He was John Mason. I mean, you look at this, and Sean, I think you hit the fucking ball out of the park with this one, and that's that this movie hasn't aged. This movie is not a well-made movie technically, but you know what it is? It's a fun movie. It is an action-packed movie. It is a movie that, you know what, and I might sound hypocritical, absolutely, but it's a movie where I don't sit there watching it for 2 hours and want to pick holes in it, right? Want to pick it apart and say, ooh, that's not realistic. I am all about realism, as you guys know, which is why I think The Ring is fantastic. But this is a movie where you just have shit blowing up and you're like, yeah, you know what? Let's throw a trolley car in there blowing up for no reason.
See,
like
we
literally, let's have a water truck.
Yeah.
Right. What I'm saying is, you know, there's so many bad parts of this movie, and you know what? I have no problem overlooking it for the great. I'm going to do something that you guys didn't do, which I'm actually sad and surprised about. I'm putting this in the ones. This is a ones movie. This is not a twos movie. This is not a threes movie. Jeremiah,
So
as your shirt says, kiss my
add
ass.
Up the scores, I have to tell you, Brandon, this is like the second or third. Of the last three movies, this is the second action movie that you've actually been behind. So just maybe your tastes are changing.
Oh yeah,
maybe your tastes are actually getting good.
Maybe you guys are giving me something
Point Break,
to go with.
please? Can you, since you're enjoying all these action movies now?
You're a new person here, man. Let's do Die Hard over again.
I will not like Die Hard ever again. But I got to just one time, and I know I'm rambling, but Eddie, the sad reality is that I think Point Break is a great movie. I just think when we're trying to sit there and say, is it a movie that means anything? Absolutely not. It's complete trash at that point. Dude. The Rock, though, I think The Rock has some influence over action movies. I think that The Rock did a lot for kind of redirecting Action Point, saying that we can have a serious actor, a really good, high quality actor, bring it in, and all right, fine. I'm going to give it a 1.91. 1.91.
1.91. Okay, Jeremiah, when you take those movies, Eddie, when you take all those scores and add them up and divide by 4, what do you get an average rating of?
You put it in the middle of the screen, guys. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I can't Jesus Christ, put the vote. There we go.
Thank you. It's a 2.3325. A 2.3325.
Jeremiah, where does that put us on movies that we've reviewed? Where does that put The Rock?
We made sure that is a unique score. That's a unique one.
Well, we have a new place for our 39th slot. It's right between two other classic action films. It's between Die Hard and John Wick.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's better than both of them. God damn it. It is so much better than both of those ones.
2.33. What is it?
Which one's better? Which one's higher?
So John Wick, the original one, is 2.3325 than this, and this one's better than Die Hard.
Okay, as long as this is better than Die Hard, that's all I care about.
You just don't put like two of the biggest fucking action movies, in the last 30 years next to each other, and then this movie falls right in between it. Fuck.
It's funny. I hate to say it, but I think it's exactly where it's supposed to be.
This is exactly where it should
be. Oh, shit. If you enjoyed our podcast or a fan of our reviews, we ask you pick up our Ahsoka Tano television show review, which we are kind of in the middle of right now. It debuted on the 23rd of August, I believe, and we're a couple episodes in. And we're really enjoying it. We did a pre-Ahsoka show, which introduced the character that you all should go back and listen to before you listen to the Ahsoka show. And want to just kind of give a shout out to that because we're getting really good feedback, and it's been a kind of a fun journey coming to fruition with the end of Mandalorian, and then this show is just kind of fun. So. Please leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. You can find us on Instagram at the Gentleman Podcast. The dot means a lot. You can visit our website at thegentlemanpodcast.com, or if you want to reach out to us by email, you can at hosts with an S, HOSTS at thegentlemanpodcast.com. And I just want to thank you all for listening, and we really appreciate everyone as we close out season 4 We only have a handful of episodes left. We're going to take you through the end of the year, and then next year we'll start fresh with season 5. So thank you all again, and cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers, everyone.
Rocket
Cheers.
Man.
Clink, clink.
Hey, cheers to Sean Connery, by the way.